Hey guys, Holly very graciously gave us permission to do this case study on some of the work that we've been doing with her. If there's two overarching themes that I can give from this video, it's one, if you need help, please ask for help, or if you want help, please ask for help. Doesn't matter if your store is doing great or if it's doing okay or it's not doing what you want it to do. We're more than happy to give one-on-one attention to your store. Holly asked us for some help with marketing, and I was more than happy to step in and get inside the Facebook page myself and do some of the things that are needed to kind of uh, move things forward. There's really two types of marketing in uh, this business. There's short-term marketing and there's long-term things. We did a little bit of both to help. So that's the first theme, is make sure that if you do need help, please ask. Always happy to get into marketing with anyone that wants to talk about it and how we can help. The second theme of this video is going to be how important the creative is and how you can be doing a blowout deal and still not yield results if the creative is not good. We have a lot of videos on that, but I'm just going to get this. This is a very in-your-face example that has some pretty actionable stuff that is um, should be helpful. So real quick, I'm going to get into what we did to start off. I was given Facebook access, hopped right into the Facebook page. First thing I did was I changed the profile picture. It previously was this, which is fine as a placeholder if you're in the middle of constructing your building, but once you have your building, you want your profile picture to be a picture of the building. Same thing for the cover photo. We want the cover photo to be a picture of the building. So we updated that as well. The second thing I did was I actually went into the Meta Business Suite and made sure that everybody was invited to the page. So from the ads that we ran on behalf of Holly, it's already back up to 75. Let me move this out of the way for a second. All you have to do is go to Meta Business Suite, go all the way to the bottom, click on Send Invites. We're going to select, I move it back out of the way. I'm going to select like and love. Move this back out of the way again. And we're going to send those invites. What this does is it prompts the people who interacted with your ad to like the page. The sooner you can do this, the better, because if it's fresh in their mind, they're more likely to like the page. And then what happens is they'll see the organic posts more frequently, as opposed to people only seeing your paid posts. All right, so let's hop back into the Facebook page. And actually, at this point, I think we're going to go straight into the numbers to talk about where Holly's store was prior to us getting involved, what happened after we got involved, and what happened after we stepped away. So in we run a 52-week schedule, and we run our car count and KPIs on a weekly schedule. Every Monday that our team gets together, we look at everybody's numbers on a weekly basis. So in week 5, which was the January 27th to February 2nd week of 2025, Holly's store did 39 cars for 3,300 in gross sales, 26 net. Net is obviously what hits the bank account. Holly's store is a beautiful store. It's also in a very good location, so I'm not surprised that it organically got growth without a ton of inorganic reach. So it got up to 65, 62 relatively quickly. Um, but obviously, with the new construction, Holly's expense structure is a little bit different than someone who, say, goes into a secondary site, a second gen site, and remodels it and has less of that overhead. So we need to get this out of the 60s, and it stayed in the 60s all the way through week 49, which was just the first week of December of last year. So I got involved that week. I think it was actually December 1st when I got control of the Facebook page, and immediately went to work on getting the creative set up, getting the ad set up, and running the ad. So obviously the results are here on the page, so it's not like it's a spoiler alert or anything. But after we ran our ad, uh, Holly's car count jumped. It almost doubled. She had her first 100-car week um, that the store's ever had, and then the following week was a 131-car week. And then, spoiler alert again, after that ad concluded and we went into the new ad, We're at 41 today. Obviously, today's Friday. There's a whole nother day left. I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up in the 60s, but it's been a tough week. And so we inevitably did pull some of those customers forward. So it is possible that it ends up being somewhere in the 50s, but for right now, it's at 41 and a paltry 2,200 in net sales for the week so far. That's not going to be enough to cover bills, maybe not even labor, especially with that car count. As we showed in the town hall video, how low car count impacts your price per car on labor. So let's get back to the Facebook page. I'm going to talk a little bit about what we did. All right, I need to move this out of the way again. All right, so the first thing we did was our ad. Now, a very important metric that you guys may already know because I've talked about it in the past, but you have between 1 and 2 seconds to get someone's attention on Facebook's feed. You have even less than that on Instagram. And now that Instagram ads are meta ads and they basically run them on both platforms, um, it is important to be able to get people's attention. When people are scrolling through their feed, you need to do something that stops. I guarantee everybody watching this video, because I just scrolled through this feed, you probably can't even point out the other ads that I scrolled by on the way to get to this one. This ad worked very well for us in the corporate stores. This was actually not even a Wordle ad. Normally we do Wordle ads, and just to give you an example of what a Wordle ad is, I'll go to Harrisburg real quick, and I will show a traditional Wordle ad. I don't know what the psychology is behind the meme text, but at the end of the day, the meme text, this is an ad that already has 16 likes, 3 comments, 30K views. Um, you know, the performance metrics on this, only 1 share. That's not fantastic, but just to give you that, opposed to an ad that doesn't have that ability to, and once again, I scrolled down, and maybe you caught it this time because you were looking for it, um, but anyway, this meme style ad catches people's eyes. It gets them to stop. They're either waiting to see something funny, read something funny. There's something about the meme ad that gets them to stop. All right. So Holly's ad ended up with 36K views, 11 shares, 27 comments, 71 emojis. And those are all different interactions with the Facebook page. All right. So let's get up. This is the ad that did really well. This is the ad that we posted on December 10th. So I didn't even get this ad up until December 10th. Holly did do a New Year, New Oil special. She made this ad herself. This ad is a lot better than the ad I'm about to show, but still the font is not the meme font, but what it does, it still did enough to catch attention. The deal price itself was such a good deal price. This one got 31K views. It got 36 comments. It got 77 likes. I always like our own page with the care emoji, because Facebook previews 3 emojis. Usually you'll get likes, you'll get hearts, but then sometimes you'll also get the ha-has. So what I like to do is to preempt that and put the care sign. That way the people only see that. We don't want them seeing the laughing emoji. If you do get the laughing emoji, immediately block that person. That's a best practice that we do. Now, as far so ads are broken up into 2 things: creative and content. Copy is what a lot of marketing firms will refer it to. So the creative is the image itself, and then you have the copy. So Holly just copied our copy verbatim, which is fine, right? You still want to space it out a little bit. You want to get it spaced because depending on the platform, um, whether it's Instagram, desktop, mobile, iPad, iPhone, depending on which iPhone, you really need this first sentence to grab people, because they're going to stop at this. They see this, but they really need this, right? Or else people will accuse you of doing bait and switch. But this is what stops them. This is what informs them. All right, so we're going up now. Oh, I scrolled past it again. That was performative. I did that on purpose. But this is the ad that Holly's running right now, and there's a lot wrong. There's a lot wrong with this ad. The copy is fine. She copied our copy. Any of you can copy our copy. That's fine. We set it up every single month. Feel free to copy our copy. The ad itself is what's problematic. When, depending on what someone's settings are on their Facebook, this is what someone would see when they'd scroll by. If they don't have autoplay on, this is what they would see. It would just be this blank screen. The black text at the bottom of it um, would blend in with the rest of the text on their Facebook feed. Um, the logo itself, the border is not the same shade of black as the border on the image, um, and that, I mean, that's a minor detail that probably wouldn't impact 99.9% of customers. But so let's play the ad. We have a ChatGPT generated image. Obviously, we are a pro ChatGPT in our company. We use it for everything. We are trying to stay ahead of the curve on ChatGPT. But this image itself is what people are starting to refer to as AI slop. And people are starting to build an aversion and a tolerance to images that are very clearly AI generated. The funny thing about this video is, obviously, it is AI generated, but it also was made in a way using an existing image of a human being underneath a car in a quick lube. It made it real enough to not be, and it's kind of like what that Supreme Court judge said back in the day. I know it when I see it, and that's kind of what AI has become. I know it when I see it. Some people better than others, but still. All right, so going back to this ad, it's way too busy. The font doesn't give you, the font and the text itself doesn't portray the story that you're trying to get across. All right, so the 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 words and the explosions and everything jumbled together just doesn't do enough to get someone to stop in their tracks. And I think it largely has to do with the font. I think it has to do with the structure of the creative. Um, we have videos on our YouTube channel about how to make warble videos. So just to go back to Harrisburg real quick, the key here is always stop. Up, stop. Right? It's in your face. It's stopped. All of this other stuff going on, all of this other theatrics, right? And there's videos on why we do the sparkler at the drain plug, right? We get extra engagement because people are goofballs and they want to say, why are you welding the drain plug shut? Because they're being disingenuous and they think they're funny, but that only helps our ads. But put that aside for a second. The fireworks in the bottom, the fireworks at the top, um, the confetti. It doesn't take away from the message. So if we're scrolling, we're still like, you could do this with any of our ads. You you can see in between, right? We posted a picture of the store in the snow. We posted a closure due to weather, but you can see, you'll stop. You can get the gist of the ad every single time. And so these meme style ads are really, really effective in getting people to actually read the ad. And we've never been able to quantify this before. And fortunately, Holly gave us permission to share these numbers. But I think this is about as stark of evidence as you can get. I know a lot of you have seen the St. Albans case study on our Facebook, on our YouTube channel. I'm hoping that this is St. Albans case study 2.0, and that a lot of people take this to heart and start advertising in the ways that we've shown to be effective. Um, you know, the model itself will sustain on word of mouth, but you have to get out of your ramp up period. And if you're not, like, I don't know if you guys think that people put up a Strickland and 40 cars a day start showing up. That's not the case. You can read their FDD and see that's not the case. They have unlimited stores that do single digit car counts, and those are franchisees that are not putting any money into their marketing. They're franchisees that are not adhering to the system. They're franchisees that are not doing things to get people in the door. They're expecting people to just show up. And then you can also look at their FDD and see that they have multiple stores that do over $1 million in revenue. And those franchisees are pouring money into getting out of the ramp up period. And, there's if you can pick your path to how you would like to get to your car count. I think our model stands on its own, but it takes a lot longer to get to 100 cars a week organically than it does, and it's more expensive too. So, in that town hall video, we kind of talked about, you're afraid to discount because you're leaving money on the table, but you're leaving money on the table by only doing 10 cars a day. Um, so it's important to drive cars into the doors with people that you believe will give an experience that makes them go tell other people to come to your shop. And at the end of the day, that's really what it comes down to. And how to drive cars into the door in a faster fashion so that you can then have more at bats to sell other things that people actually need. 2025 for us in the corporate stores was largely a growth year for car count, but a stabilizing year for store growth. 2026 is going to be about a ticket average increase, and it's going to be in a way that adheres to our core values. We're not going to be doing high pressure upsells, but we have now, if you look at the car counts of the stores and the car rankings of the top 20 stores, the vast majority of them are still corporate stores, but we have an increasing number of franchise locations that are turning that corner and breaking into the top 20. And this I'm talking about car count, not revenue, because the revenue side is almost 50-50 at this point, at least for the top 10. But when we have a corporate store that's doing less net sales than a franchise store but is doing 2,000 cars more a year, when we flip the switch and start actually selling things and being more cognizant of selling things and training to sell things, that store is going to have a much higher upside in terms of ticket average, in terms of total revenue, as long as that ticket average gets where it needs to be. Um, there's a fork in the road in the quick lube space. Everyone has either gone to Quick Lube Plus or has gone to what is Take Five or Valvoline's version of this. If you go down the road of Take Five and Valvoline, the only way to make money is to have a over $100 ticket average if you don't do a lot of cars. And so we were very cognizant of that. We wanted to get a lot of cars because we still want to be the value play. And by being the value play, we've gotten that car count where it needs to be. And so we don't have to hound people for a $100 oil change, which they surely do not want. So hopefully this video has been helpful. And again, please message and ask for help if you need it. I have a lot of fun spending time on these types of things. This is what we and the team do all day, every day. I'm in Slack until the wee hours of the morning every single day. Um, I see what's going on in people's channels, and so if you need help, please ask. That's what I am here for. Thanks, guys, and happy New Year.